Hello everyone, today we're going to be talking about the distance learning and the digital learning. Nowadays, from all over the world, we're carrying out this distance learning, but we know that this already exists for years before for those people who cannot go to school like we normally do. But we also know, and something that is very interesting is that all this process that we're living through for the consequence of the pandemic is that it's very challenging for everyone because we were not prepared for this situation, and even more that this happened from one day to another. But well, there. Let's talk about the ICT, how the ICT has been a very awesome tool for everyone because it says that this is used for what we're talking about, distance learning, for addressing challenges in teaching and learning. And another, I will leave his name, is Joseph, views the ICT as a change agent when it catalyzes various other changes in the content, methods, and general quality of teaching and learning, thereby ensuring constructive, inquiry-oriented students. Okay, something also very interesting is that previous studies have reported that students may use various technologies. What do we mean by various technologies? This means like the apps we have for the distance learning. We also use our computers, our cell phones, and we also use the YouTube platform so the teachers can upload videos for us to get this new distance learning. So it also mentions that where areas, technologies, and practice are seen to be changeable over time as students' knowledge, experience, and content and technology itself might undergo changes throughout human action. Yeah, we know that all these nowadays there are like many apps we have for this. There are new apps that sometimes we don't have any idea of how to use them, but this is like all process of all this, the needs of all this distance learning. But something very interesting and that we have to keep in mind is that no single study exists which is about the good, the bad, and the ugly of the distance learning in higher education. What do we mean with higher education? For example, university, high school, or like the upper levels that are more difficult for them to get this distance learning because there are like new topics, new methods they have to learn, new classes that it can be very challenging for them because they don't have the teacher face to face so that the teacher can explain if they have any question. Although the questions we can ask our teachers, but it's like a bit more difficult because sometimes the teachers are like in another thing, or sometimes the internet connection is not very well. So there are many problems that we have to carry out, and it's very challenging for everyone. But here are like the good things that we could get from this, like the good of the distance learning. Says that to be able to integrate mobile technology effectively into learning practices will depend on aspects that are related to humans. So this means like the students, us as students, the teachers that are like our instructors, they have to design the content using these technologies, and the institution have to provide policies and strategies so that everyone can carry out like the semester or the school year. However, all the possible explanations that online instructions can provide to higher education is that can direct learners throughout a framework that can also lead to the desired outcomes in a manner that it can encourage best practices. What does this mean? That, as we already mentioned, the teachers, the directors, the community school can provide all this information for us, for students can grab better the information and to have the best of this distance learning. But something also that we have to focus on in the future, it's like we know that is only for like a few months, no? Because this few months are difficult, we know, but everything is gonna happen. But what happens if in the future there's a new pandemic? For example, it says that in the 21st century, technology learning is expected to include digital literacies, collaboration, complex communication, and system thinking skills, among others. So from all over the world, there are going to be new apps, new methods, new platforms that the students can grab all this information. So in order to be in line with online learning, so as we mentioned, we expect to have like more things for us, can be helpful for everyone and have the ability to use them. But something also very interesting is that there are like 3 formats to be followed in the delivery coursing. One is the distance learning, DL. The other one is face-to-face, and the hybrid learning. These guidelines represent a philosophy of quarterly distance learning education that could be widely used for both the face-to-face, the course, and the online learning. These formats can be very helpful for everyone for this new process that we are carrying out. Okay, another benefit, and this is more specifically for the universities, because it can bring an element of flexibility in the learning process by the use of technologies and interdisciplinary approaches to teach and learning. What do we mean with this? For example, the teachers upload a video, let's put an example, on YouTube. So the student can see like the video before the class, and the students can interact with his other classmates, and they can interact about the video. They can have more information about that topic. That's like one process we can carry out, because it's more useful for everyone to have like a little bit of knowledge before the school, you know. And this is the advantage of technology in distance learning, is that students can watch, like we mentioned, readings before coming to class and engage in more interactive activities in the class. So this also follows for a constant delivery of content, because online videos are already pre-recorded and shared with the rest of the class online. So another advantage of this is that as we work on distance learning, we work on our time. For example, if we work or if we have to do things in home, we can work out in our time, and it's more hopeful because we don't have like the pressure of the teacher that tells us you have to hurry up with this, or you have to do this at this time and all that stuff. So working online is a very good tool for everyone. And a key for all this is that learning is the combination of educational competence with contextual understanding into a strategy of how to use digital educational methods. So basically, this distance learning is like a way of teaching, because we have like the traditional classes that can be very helpful as well, but as we mentioned, it's like a way of teaching, because we're going to repeat the distance learning and the traditional classes, or the online classes and the traditional classes, are methods and the strategies that everyone uses for this way of teaching, and it's very helpful for everyone because we can adapt to our system of working, and this is basically what we do or what we're carrying out nowadays. I'm gonna leave you the reference of where I grabbed all this information, and if you want to look up for more information, it's a book very interesting that talks about the bad, the good, and the ugly of studying on distance learning. And it also mentions something very interesting. You have to look for that book. I'm gonna leave you the reference. And if you have any question, any comment, you can just write it and I'll be answering.